My name is Tawana Green, and this is my Unit 6 presentation on the impact of higher education institutions on student outcomes for EDA 701, Section 1, Foundations of Administration and Education, with Dr. Deshelle Eccles, due date of December 1st. Higher institutions play a pivotal role in shaping both our students and the communities that we serve. In our students, we attempt to foster critical thinking, broaden perspectives, and equip them with specialized skills and knowledge essential for their personal and professional success. From a community standpoint, we drive innovation, promote economic development, and encourage social progress by preparing informed and engaged citizens who contribute to the betterment of their communities. And finally, through the cultivation of knowledge and leadership, higher education helps build a more equitable, informed, and dynamic society. From an academic impact, we look at the knowledge and skills, competencies, acquisition, exposure to diverse disciplines, academic support and resources, educationally purposeful activities, and post-graduation success. For professional and career development, we look at skill building for the workforce from our course materials that considers curriculum mapping and strategic partnerships so that we can offer relevant industry courses, internships, and career service opportunities for our students here at A&M. An example would be the career clusters made up of industry partners through career development services and leadership development through our Student Government Association, RSOs, internships, work studies, and from our course materials that speaks to creating value and meaning. Networking opportunities, connection with alumni, industry professionals, and guest speakers who provide mentorship and job opportunities, career fairs, and recruitment events. All of this really speaks to having a well-developed and thoughtful career development office on our institutions. Um, personal, growth and development, which speaks to the student experience that Dr. Lawrence mentions in his paper, as it helps students with their identity and self-discovery, development of independence and responsibility, and it helps them build resilience and adaptability. The college experience, how we look at how it helps students develop, exposes them to new opportunities, worldviews, and beliefs. The learning of time management skills, self-discipline, and accountability, which speaks to restorative justice practices. They don't have to be punitive when students have an infraction with the code of conduct or academic dishonesty. But we also look for restorative ways to help them to take full accountability and responsibility and get them back on the right path for success. Challenges in higher ed, we look at as we discussed within our midterm, one of the topics was higher ed leadership crisis, which speaks to a number of things as we look back over this course that we've talked about systematic structures, our leadership, policies, governance, culture, all of those things, because depending on how our institution is structured, who selects the board of trustees, how much of that is handled through state government versus other avenues, all plays a tremendous impact in the leadership in our institutions. Specifically in the HBCU, where there are 28 vacancies right now, which is quite high and disturbing, many of which first-time presidents, a lot of the time, only make it through one contract if they finish one full contract. And that's related to several issues, whether it be financial, whether it be governance related, with the relationship between the leader and the board, high cost and financial stress, the burden of tuition, student loans and related expenses, the impact on students' mental health, decision making, and long-term financial stability. An example at A&M would be how we went out and secured master leases for our students in lieu of making them take on the full responsibility of finding housing as we look at our enrollment. But we still want to stick with that, maintaining a 60% housing rate for our enrolled student population. Inequality to access and quality education, as Dr. Calvin Hadley, the Assistant Provost for Academic Partnerships and Student Engagement at Howard, mentions in his NPR interview. You look at first generation students, the belief gap. Our students oftentimes come from communities that are of low socioeconomic background, race, and geography, depending on whether it's rural or urban or what have you. But HBCUs are critically important so that we can provide a sense of belonging for our students and help them overcome those things that they may have faced in the K-12 and 12 environment. Institutional biases affect the student experience and those outcomes. Pressure and mental health strain, the growing pressure to succeed both academically and professionally, the role of institutions in supporting students' mental health and well-being. As I mentioned at A&M, we have several things that speak to what we've covered in this course. The mental health is extremely huge. We've built out our counseling department and looking to do more in the near future, but leaning on the Insider's Guide to Working with Universities, Dr. Lawrence is creating systematic structures to support student success in higher ed, and the NPR article interview, with Dr. Calvin Hadley of Howard. Using these three mainly for my resources to look at what that looks like, how higher ed really impacts student success. So thank you, and I look forward to your feedback.